Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey and Water.
Our bi-weekly baby's coming in strong, even though we're a little late. We're doing our best.
Our bi-weekly late episodes.
It's okay. We're showing up, and I'm proud of us for that.
I feel like the last year of podcasts, it's been this. Like, we're like, hey guys, sorry we're late.
No, it literally has. But you know what? Better late than fucking never.
Yeah, better late than ever. Couldn't agree more. Season finale. Here we are yet again.
Wow, another season finale. This shit sneaks up on you fucking quick.
Fast. And especially now that we're doing the bi-weekly, like I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I never know what's going on.
I'm like, what day is it? Who am I? What year was I born? Like, I don't know what's going on.
No, couldn't tell you. But since it is bi-weekly and it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, we have a lot to catch you guys up on. So
Yeah,
it's better this way.
Yeah, that's the positive because it's like we have real stuff to catch on. Before, when we were like so aligned, we were like pulling stuff out of our assholes. We were like, what's new? I am trying a new toilet paper. I guess we could talk about that. Like,
no, literally.
Like nothing to talk about. Okay, so we have a lot to catch up on and we won't hold you. Oh, well, before we, I guess, get into the catch up, today's episode, we are going to do a little content creation crash course because we feel like we get a lot of questions about how we create content. It's one of the most popular modules in our influencers assistant course is our content creation module. And I feel like it would just be really helpful for those in our audience who look at, profiles of influencers and they're just like, how the fuck do they like literally make this photo like or a reel or whatever. So we're gonna, give you guys, pull back the curtain, give you guys all the goods and let you know how we create content, our best like tips and tricks, best practices for creating content. And yeah, we just felt like this would be a super valuable episode for y'all. So we'll get into it.
We will get right into it. Also, let's start with a little bit of a catch up, shall we?
Sure. Or a moment of gratitude.
Let's start off with gratitude.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm putting my foot massager on.
Oh, you're like
well, because not gonna lie, so I have this foot massager and it's something I'm actually really grateful for. So I'll make that one of my things. But on our call that we were on before, Jess, it stopped working and I was like, no. And I was like fucking with the wire and stuff. And then it sparked a little. So now I'm just a little, that's why I'm like looking. I'm like, am I good? Am I catching on fire? I think we're good. Anyways,
oh
moving on. I am grateful for this foot massager. I'm also grateful for the opportunities that I get to travel and that we get to travel because we're going to Mexico next week. And I'm so excited. And it's just so fun because it's like, I just feel really, really lucky and privileged to look forward to a trip like this with girlfriends, staying at like a villa with like
a stunning villa,
a chef and staff. Like, are you kidding me? Are we literally like the Kardashians? I don't know who we think we are, but I'm so excited. I can't be more excited. So I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm also grateful for inspiration. I've been feeling really inspired lately, which is really nice because that kind of ebbs and flows, especially being a creative and being in our field. There's months that go by where you just really lack inspiration, and I've been feeling inspired. So when that does come around, I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, what are you grateful for?
Was there one more, or were you doing two?
That my third one is the foot massager.
That was your first one.
That's what I mean. But like that was one, and then travel, and then inspiration. So three.
Okay. I was wrong.
Math. The math be mathin'.
Also, guys, I got her that foot massager. So essentially what she's saying is that she's grateful for me, which is really cute. My moment of gratitude is
tell me your love language is words of affirmation without telling me your love language is words of affirmation.
I'm literally Zulu. I do this with every man I date too. I'm like, well, he said that he liked flowers, and then one time I picked a flower. So basically he's in love with me. Okay, my moment of gratitude is that I'm extremely grateful for my gym. I finally have a gym membership here in LA. I went like I think 2 or 3 months, May, June.
Which I don't know. Like, what have you been doing? Have you been working out?
I would go weeks without working out. I would like hop into random classes. Like I did berries a few times. I was like on people's guest passes. I would go.
You were in the trenches.
I was in the trenches, guys,
Oh.
because
Oh.
this gym membership, and I knew I wanted to do this one specifically. This gym was actually even a driving factor of me moving to LA because I
Oh
was
wow.
like, yeah. Like I knew that I wanted to go to this gym, but it was hella expensive, and the move like drained my bank account. So I was like, okay, I need to like wait until I can like genuinely afford this and do it. So I did, and it was expensive. And it is an expensive gym, but you know what? I'm going to make the most out of it. And because it is an expensive gym, I'm also trying to like kind of view it as sort of like a networking opportunity. Like there's a co-working space and things like that.
That's
So
so nice.
yeah. No, it's really nice. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that like I've signed up. It's also like 5 minutes from my house.
Nice.
Also, they have a valet. So like I just roll up, fucking do the valet. Like I had allotted myself 2 hours this morning to like get to the gym. And had that been in Fort Lauderdale, because Powerhouse was so far from me, it would have taken like I would have been like running for time, but like I was able to like relax and like enjoy it. And it was just I was just like really grateful for it.
Nice.
I am grateful for my security deposit being returned. It's not in full, unfortunately, and honestly, I probably could pursue it to be in full. But just for like the sake of how long it's been and me, like my mental health, essentially, I'm just like accepting like what they're giving me, which is like half, which whatever. But again, I'll take it at this point. And I'm really grateful for my fucking lawyer friend who came through and helped me so much with that, because he's the reason I got it back.
You're his like one pro bono case for the quarter. He's like, okay, I did my charity work.
No, he's not even. He's like helping. He helped our friend Rachel. She like her roof like came in with like all the rain, and like her roof like caved in on her bed, and it was like disgusting. And she was like out of her house for like a month while they fixed it. He got her like $20,000 pro bono. Like he was just helping her like as a friend, because he's like good at this shit, and he got her 20K, and he's not even done.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. So nice to like have people like that in your fucking life that are like,
I'm like,
wanna
Jalissa, be our lawyer.
no, literally. I'm like, Jalissa, stop playing around. Start practicing. Need you. And then the last thing I'm grateful for is my home. I'm still getting settled in and figuring some things out. And, you know, it's not anywhere near, I mean, it is near where I want it to be, but, you know, I'm just really grateful for it. And I recently started a TikTok for my home. It's at casa.alma. And some of the videos have been performing pretty well. And like people are just like really encouraging and just commenting nice things. And it's nice to like see your style like envied by others. Like people are like some girl commented on one of my TikToks and was like, you better lock your doors tonight. And I was like, bet. Like that's the kind of comments that like I've always left on people's shit. Obviously joking. But
what is it? Casa what?
Casa.alma, which is translates to soul home or house of soul.
Nice.
So
fun.
Yeah. So really grateful. And I wake up very happy in my space. I just need to like figure out my clothes situation, because I still can't fit all my clothes in all the closets. Nice. And I've been trying to figure that out. So there's still kind of like clothes everywhere, but little by little.
Yep. One thing at a time, bestie. Okay, so let's catch up. In wedding news, I did send out my save the dates today before doing this, which is very exciting because that's been haunting me on my to-do list for the past 3 months. So to finally check it off feels very good. So yeah, wedding planning is in full motion. I am in the trenches, but it's okay. We're getting shit done. And then I did a really fun random job last week for Swim Week. I was a host for an Instagram Live for Cupshe, and it was my first hosting job, but it was so much fun. I had such a good time doing it. Like the night didn't go as planned because it was raining, and basically like I was there 3 hours longer than I should have been, but it like I was enjoying what I was doing so much that didn't even bother me. And I was like, wow, I'm having so much fun. Like I was just fucking around, interviewing people, like just it feels good to like bring some like personality into work, because I feel like a lot of times we don't, which is like weird. It's like almost like counterintuitive to be like, oh, isn't like the whole thing of influencing like bringing your personality, but really like aside from the podcast and I guess some TikToks, it's hard to like show like the fun side of you. So I really enjoyed that. That was fun. And then I'm leaving Friday to New York to see my mom and my brother, and then going straight to Mexico from there, period.
Wait, so you're flying from New York to Mexico? Oh my God, she's a fucking jet setter, bitch.
Catch flights, not feelings.
Who is she, dude?
I don't
That's
know.
insane.
So fun. So excited.
That's so fun. Wait, so it sucks that you have to like pack. I mean, then again, it's hot in New York right now. It's not like
Yeah, that's why it
stuff.
works. I mean, definitely not like similar stuff because what I'm packing for Mexico is like ass and tits out, but you know, it's like
as it
similar,
should be.
similar enough.
Also, this is good, guys. This is gonna be such an interesting / fun trip. I mean, one, it's always interesting and fun with our girls, but it was originally supposed to be a sort of couples trip, and it still kind of is. So like Macy's bringing her boyfriend, Alexa's obviously bringing her husband Tom. Olivia was gonna bring Tyler, but he couldn't get the dates off work. Thank God, because then I'm not going alone and eighth wheeling again or ninth wheeling. Although I do love Tyler and I miss him. But our friend Jalissa just started dating a guy, and I think she's bringing him. And none of us have ever met him, so it's just gonna be a little bit chaotic. But it's gonna be so much fun. I'm excited.
So excited. Because we don't have anything planned, right? Like we're just like going and free balling.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're just gonna like stay at the villa and eat.
I kind of want to like ride a horseback on the beach.
I would I mean, I don't know if they treat the horses well. Like, I don't know if that's like,
Yeah, like a touristy, shameful thing.
Yeah. If it's not though, I am down.
So
but
fun.
it's gonna be. I don't even know like where we're like where we're going, like where the place is at. If it's on the beach or if it's like in the middle of the jungle. Like I don't know.
Me either. I don't really know either. No, it's on the beach. It's beachfront.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Oh, fun. I honestly, I think I looked at the link like once of the house.
I just looked yesterday. It's really pretty. So
nice.
It's like
I am super excited.
Very large.
Very large.
Okay.
And in charge.
Tell us what's new and good and fun in your life.
Not much. Y'all, I've been struggling. I've been in the trenches. I've been going through it. Lots of stressful situations, but it's okay. Honestly, like if anything, like things have been really stressful, like almost like objectively, but like I think I've been dealing with it pretty well, like all things considered. Like there was a point or a few days rather where I felt myself kind of like slipping into like my dark place again, and I was able to like see it like and look at it without like associating with it, and then I was just able to like take the proper steps to avoid it and like not go down there and continue to like take care of myself, which was really nice because it wasn't like it like had a grip on me and I like wasn't able to like shake it, which was nice. And I think that like personally I've seen a lot of growth out of myself in the last few weeks with just like how I've dealt with certain situations and how things would have affected me in the past versus them not even scratching the surface now. So I think overall like I've been happier. I know that I've been dealing with stressful situations and it's kind of interesting to like see them happening and then being like, okay, they're not really affecting me that much, but like, is this going to manifest in a certain way later? Like, am I just avoiding this or am I genuinely just like, am I genuinely just good?
Are you like genuinely just like at a place where you've grown and like it doesn't affect you as much?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you gaslighting yourself? It's hard to know.
Yeah, no, it could be one or the other. But
stay tuned.
But I mean, like I think that these are also just inevitable when you make such a large fucking life move. Like I'm definitely homesick. I literally dream of the ocean every single day. Like I want to swim. I'm emotional.
You will swim. So close.
So that's been hard. And I really like that's like, the biggest thing is that I miss the beach and obviously like I miss you and I miss Tamir and I miss my family. But there's also a lot of really, really good things here that I like love. And I really do have an amazing friend group and support system. And, discovering that I can lean on them is, like really amazing. And, them being there for me without me asking. And I think that a huge part of that is also communication. because, you know, there's been some like little like things that have like rubbed me the wrong way, or, you know, certain situations that I've encountered, you know, that just haven't really sat right with me. And instead of like writing them off as like, oh, that's just like something I'm gonna have to deal with, or, you know, just, you know,
Accepting
distancing
it as
myself.
like fate.
Yeah, I have instead like communicated through them, and through that have strengthened my relationships with these people, rather than just, you know, again, taking it at face value and being like, oh, that's just the way this person is, right? Like instead, like you can, and don't get me wrong, like you can learn people and learn their boundaries while also communicating and like continuing to work towards like a meeting point kind of in your friendship as well. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, Jess is really close-minded and, you know, he can be a dick sometimes. Like it doesn't have to be that. It can also be like you can, you know, learn people more deeply, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when the easier option is just to distance yourself and be like, oh, well, that person's just not for me.
Yeah.
So like that's been really enjoyable as well, like having those difficult conversations, because I have found liberation on the other side of them, and like have found growth. And so yeah, I mean, it's been, you know, it's been a huge like learning lesson and learning curve, and it's been challenging, but I think that there's a lot of, you know, growth on the other side of that as well. So I'm kind of just like wading through the difficult parts, and like, you know, knowing and trusting that there's more for me on the other side of that.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a new season of life and you're navigating new relationships and new like and a new environment, new situations. So
Mhm.
it's definitely going to take time for you to adjust and I think feel like truly feel settled, you know.
Yeah, and even something that I told Olivia the other day was that like I miss being able to like be 100% authentic and like say whatever I want to say without it being viewed through someone else's like skewed lens, you know,
Perception.
perception. And, you know, something that I'm realizing is that like, you know, it wasn't even always that way for Olivia and I, you know, like we have a massive foundation of friendship and like our own hardships and growing that we had to do to get to that point. So it's not to say that I'll never have that again, or I won't have that in close proximity to me.
Right.
Um,
It just takes time to get there.
it just takes time to get
Takes
there.
time for someone to understand your intention, I think is the
Hmm.
biggest thing. And then like see you for you with
Hmm.
all the nooks and crannies and like, you know, quirks.
Yeah.
Like really like seeing someone's truth and knowing them to their core
Yeah.
takes time.
And honestly, it's also been really amazing, like feeling really valued here as well. Cause like I think my friends are like really good at communicating like their feelings in friendship as well. Like, you know, I have multiple friends here who have said like, dude, ever since you've moved here, like my life has changed. Like I've learned how to like set boundaries better. I've learned how to like stand up for myself. Like I feel more comfortable in my own skin just since meeting you. And like those things are incredible and like and amazing. And like
Yeah.
it's all you could, and I'm not even doing it intentionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sitting down with them and saying, all right, this is what we're doing with your life. It's just like, you know, I guess just like little things in passing that they're picking up on. And, you know, like even the fact that they're communicating those things to me is like, you know, so huge and so meaningful. And even if like that's my purpose here or wherever, then, you know, I think that I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's nice to know the impact that you're making.
Huge.
And like even if it's unintentional. I actually did and we'll get into the episode in in a second, but I even had that idea to journal about that a few weeks ago, like just because it was kind of a whisper in the back of my head of like, you know, we do the podcast, we have the course now, and like we get glimmers of seeing the impact that we make in people's lives. But I felt like how nice would it be to like sit down and like look at a list, right? If we could, it's not really a tangible thing, but if we could try to make it as tangible as possible, sit down, look at it, and like have a second for gratitude and for just like feeling good and like patting ourselves on the back, you know, not to just like boost our ego, but to truly like feel and understand the impact that we've made on people's lives and how that may have a ripple effect. And I journaled about it when I was in the Keys, and it felt really good. And I really like, I highly recommend that for anyone who like maybe like it's hard for you to take a second to stop and look back on either your life or, you know, the people in your life. It's like really nice to stop and take a second and write down like those, either it's accomplishments that you're proud of, or I made a list of like literally ways I feel like I have impacted the people around me, and even like in close proximity, and even like just through the internet and through the course and through the podcast. And writing that down was like such a good feeling. It was a really nice exercise, so I highly recommend.
And also I feel like it drives purpose, you know what I mean? Like it's not even about like the ego, it's about like, okay, this is what impacts me the most, is making this change, whatever that is, and knowing that like that's what you want to do, it's what drives you, it's
I mean, it's
passion.
all, it's like I think like the biggest why for a lot of us, like just here on earth, it's like we all want to like leave a legacy behind, we all want to like help others and make an impact on other people's lives, either make their lives happier, more meaningful, you know, whatever it is. So yeah, I think that's really great. And also, if like a source of validation is, it's a better source than like looking at your own Instagram profile and thinking how hot you are. I mean, that's good too, though. Like both are fine.
Period on that as well.
Both are fine, but you know, we all like to feel validated, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Okay, enough of the enough of the woo-woo. Let's get into the hard-hitting value.
What you guys are here for.
Yeah. Okay, so we really, there's so many levels to content.
We haven't done our pro tip.
Oh my god. That whole last spiel was our pro tip. Yeah. Okay. My pro tip is actually also one of my moments of gratitude. It's get a foot massager, put it under your desk so that you feel less resistance to sitting at your desk and getting work done. Because like my foot massager is on, my candle is lit, I have a little bevy, and like the morale is high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. As little resistance as we can get over here.
If I wanted to push it a notch, I'll light an incense, and then it's like I'm not even working, I'm just vibing.
Just vibes. This is just
vibing. Put some eye patches on, like I'm telling you.
Yeah. Set the vibe, set the mood. My pro tip is also about resistance. And it kind of couples into today's episode about content creation, but it is make sure that you have the appropriate equipment to create content with, so that you don't feel resistance to it. Like for instance, like I have a few tripods, but the one that I want to use at the gym is one of those ones that gets super compact, and the one that I have that gets super compact is like super fucking wobbly and annoying and not good. And so therefore I have resistance to using it, because it'll fall over while I'm recording, and I'm like, oh no, this is already embarrassing enough.
Yeah.
I don't need this to be any more like embarrassing for me. So that's my pro tip. Get like solid equipment and make sure that, you know, you're setting up the odds in your favor so that you don't have any excuses.
Totally. And yeah, I can even vouch for that, because like as soon as I invested in some light sources, like the little selfie light I was making Get Ready With Me is when I invested in like the bigger $200 light kit. I was making try on hauls, you know, so it's like those little things really are stopping you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do have to like make the investment of, you know, investing in equipment, like for your job. It's a normal thing to do.
Exactly.
Okay. Now that we're done with all of that, we are going to take a second and thank our show sponsor, and then we'll get right into the episode. All right, you guys, we're going to take a second to thank our show sponsor, Hoo Ha. If you don't know what Hoo Ha is, you're welcome in advance. I'm literally wearing their underwear as we speak, and they are so comfortable. They are a women-founded business, and they're natural underwear made from tree-derived fibers. So that means that it's good for you and it's good for the planet, which is a big slay. They feature a one-of-a-kind zinc oxide lining with antimicrobial and odor-reducing properties. They feature extra-wide gussets with no uncomfortable seams irritating your sensitive areas, which if you know, you know, there's no worse feeling than underwear literally
digging into all the wrong places. So like I said, I'm wearing the thong right now. It is a dream. They also make really, really cute tanks, so comfortable. They have amazing boy shorts that I also love. They come in cute little sets. You guys, they're amazing. Like I said, thank me later. You can shop all these items at hooha.com. Again, that's HU-HA.com, and we will make sure to leave the link in the description.
Okay, we're back. Let's get into content creation, shall we? There's so many layers to this, so we're gonna try to give you guys like pretty much a brain dump of
Crash course.
A crash course, brain dump, like things that just came to top of our mind. And hopefully you guys find a lot of value in that.
Mm-hmm.
So my first tip is like before you even go about creating content, like for me, what's really helpful to understand my overall aesthetic and the vibe that I'm going for when I'm shooting content is deciding that ahead of time. Obviously we've been doing this for a long enough time, but still it helps for me to scroll with intention, to go on the explore tab with intention, to be looking at other creators, the type of content that I'm kind of like resonating with, and I'll go to their profiles and I actively am following new creators who are creating inspiring content. So yeah, so for me that's super helpful. And like once I kind of decided the route I wanted to go, I was able to like have a lot more clarity when going to shoot content, because there's so many different styles, and I really feel like it helps when you try to find, not that you have to niche down your content topics, but niche down your like style, I think is helpful.
Yeah, and that can also be a wide style. It could be
Totally.
you know, XYZ. I think maybe even like niching down on like locations or vibes even is a little bit better, because for me, my style is like kind of all over the place, but I also know what it is.
Yeah.
And I know and you know what, I think more than anything I know what it's not.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's more important, is knowing what your style isn't.
Yes, for sure.
And even kind of piggybacking off of what you said about like following creators that like you look up, that you feel like they have a good vibe or whatever. I realized that like I would look at like these other girls with like envy, and I'd be like, damn, their content is so good. I'm not going to follow them because I'm just going to compare myself. And then I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to follow them so I can get inspired. So I changed that envy to inspiration. And ever since then, I think it's just kind of improved my relationship with social media.
Oh, I love that. That's actually a really good hot take. So yeah, my first tip is to kind of figure out what style you want to go for, because I feel like if not, it can be a little overwhelming, because like I said, there's so many different styles. Like you could be a beachy, colorful, bright summer Florida beach girl, or you could be like a moody, aesthetic, less is more, minimalist queen. Like there's a lot or you could be a gym girly and you can like have a feminine take on it or a masculine take on it. Like I don't know, it's not for everyone, but for me have found that helpful to kind of like zero in on my style and try to just emulate that style when I'm actually like going to shoot my content.
Yeah. And actually what was going to be my pro tip that I forgot, that I just remembered, was mood boarding. And like so like for this trip to Mexico, I haven't been shooting a lot of content here in LA. I've been shooting like a lot of photography, but not like inspo content for myself. And I know exactly like what I want to like emulate, but sometimes you just need to reference something and be like, okay, to get you out of like your normal like sort of shots. Cause like we've been doing this for so long. It's like, okay, stand here, get this angle, do this. And like kind of it lacks a little bit of creativity and inspiration, when I know that like we are so much like, we're so capable of like creating really dope stuff, as long as we just kind of like step out of our own comfort zone. So for Mexico, I'm going to be creating like a mood board with like just really dope and interesting shots that I would like to get, that are a little bit, out of the norm, but having a mood board to be able to reference while we're shooting is going to be so helpful, because it's going to be like, okay, let's try this, let's do this.
Yeah. I love
so
that.
mood boards can be like really, really helpful. And I know a lot of creators use them, especially when they're going to shoot a specific campaign or whatever it may be. And like I know I can be like so much better about it as well.
Yeah, I love that. And on the topic of like trying to find your style, don't be afraid to try different things. Like, you don't have to pick one and stick with it. Definitely experiment with different things, feel out what feels good, what you enjoy, what you didn't enjoy. Take note, I think is really important. Like you mentioned, like, you know what you're not. Definitely take note of the things that you try to do, but you're like, I'm not totally feeling it, or like, this doesn't really feel like me, or if you feel like you're trying to be someone you're not, like, take mental note of all of those things, because there is like such a psychological element to, I think, creating content and like identifying with a style. And it's really important that you don't feel like, you know, that you feel like your content is you and that you're showing up authentically.
Yeah, and I feel like that will also translate into your photos as well, because like if you're not like 100% sold on what you're doing, it's like it'll shine through in the photos, and you'll look back on those in a few months and be like,
Who
what
was
was
I
I
trying
doing?
Yeah.
What was I trying to do? Why was I doing that? Because
Yeah.
that's me all the time.
And I feel like another great tip is like, look at your everyday life and think about what you genuinely enjoy. The hot, like, it's crazy, especially with TikTok, but like there is a corner for everyone, no matter your interests, no matter your hobbies, like no matter how niche and like weird or quirky you think your interests are, there is a corner of the internet for you. So look at your everyday life and think about like the most organic way to capture it. Like, even for example, nurse TikTok, or like the nursing niche. You would think like, oh, I'm just a nurse, like that's not an interesting job. No, there is a whole side of the internet that loves nurse content, that thrives off of seeing it, that wants to know what nurses do when they get home, or how them getting ready for their shift. Like, it's stuff that you just wouldn't even think about. And honestly, 5 years ago, probably wouldn't do well. But we are living in the best day and age to become a creator, because people are interested in watching everything. You could work at a law firm, people want to see you working at the law firm and you getting ready to go to work at the law firm. Like, people want to see it all. So my advice is like to think about how to make creating content sustainable and not feel like it's a chore or a job. Make sure it authentically aligns with what you do every day, your interests, your work, if you want to create content around your 9 to 5. Because that way, like, for example, I've tried experimenting for years with like maybe being a beauty creator or like doing content about skincare. That doesn't come natural to me. I don't care for makeup. I do the bare minimum. I don't experiment with new products. Like skincare, I'm like, put moisturizer on, call it a day. So like, I've realized after years, this doesn't make sense for me to do. You know what I mean? Like, if I really believe in a product and I'm loving something, I will share it organically. Or if I get a partnership and I like the product, I'll share it organically. But like, I'm not out here trying to be a beauty influencer, because that's just not me. So definitely don't, think about the niches that you enjoy and that you like and create content around that.
Yeah. And even, kind of piggybacking off of what you said about like there's a niche for everyone. I have like the attention span of a squirrel when I'm on TikTok. Like, it's so bad. Like, I will, like, it's kind of bad. Like, I'll be in the middle of a video and I'll be like, scroll. And I'm like, why did I scroll? Like, I want to watch the rest of that,
I wish, they should add the feature that they have on YouTube to 2x or 3x.
Oh my God, I wish.
Because like,
Oh my
I want my whole For You page is like very informative. It's all like on learning, and it's like, I would love to learn this at like 2x speed.
No, literally, I don't know why it's so bad. But a fucking 5-minute video that I caught myself watching, and I was at the end and I was like, damn, I've been watching this for a long time and I could keep watching it. It was the guy who cuts the lawns and like power washes the yards and stuff.
Oh, I haven't watched.
Oh my God. But
Wait,
you know
is he
what
hot?
No, he's not hot.
Oh.
It's literally like him going to people's yards and being like, "Can I cut your yard for free?" And it's like an insane yard, and he like trims it up, he edges it up, he cleans all of it, and it's a new yard by the
You
end of
can
it.
create. I promise. Whatever you're thinking, like, oh, but that's too boring. No one wants to see it. Yes, they do.
I do.
Yes, they do.
I want to see it.
I watch
want to
the
see it.
most mundane. I mean, there is a whole cleaning side of
I
TikTok.
love cleaning TikTok.
There are cleaning influencers. Fucking Swiffer just did an influencer trip for all cleaning influencers.
Swiffer did?
Yes.
Wait, that's
To
iconic.
promote their new Swiffer product. Like, I'm telling you, you guys, like, now is the best time to get in to this world. I'm just very passionate about it.
If not now, then when? So fun. My next tip is also just getting over the embarrassment. Like getting over the cringe factor. I actually saw a really good quote the other day that said, like, if you cringe at something, it's because you lack it in yourself.
100%.
And it's like, oh, if you look at someone like filming themselves, it's because you don't have the balls to do it. You know what I mean?
About the things that I cringe at, and I'm like, wait.
I know. It's a hard take. It's a hard take to look at yourself and do that, because I also. But then again, some, don't get me wrong, some people are fucking cringy. But you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about like the haters and the people that are
The
drinking
trolls.
the haterade. It's because
actually,
they hate themselves.
I made a TikTok about this. This is the one that disappeared, and just to fill you in, I found it. It was in my private. It uploaded as a private. I digress. So the point is just like, yeah, maybe like your sorority sister from college is gonna look at this and be like, she's trying to be an influencer. But like, we've said this so many times on the pod. I feel like broken record, but I know there's new people here, and even for the old people, you need to hear it again. Like, fuck Sally's cousin's sister. They're not paying you. They're not paying your bills. They're not giving you generational wealth. They're not contributing to your retirement fund. Like,
they're not giving you free PR.
They're not giving you free makeup or clothes or inviting you on free trips. So like, literally, fuck Sally's cousin.
Yeah, and if you guys needed any like additional fucking inspo, Liv and I are going on a free trip to Mexico, and not to mention every single brand that we're taking with us, down to the luggage that we're bringing, was gifted and free. And like, I don't know, if I wasn't an influencer, that would be my number one. I'm like, I want free shit. I love free shit.
For sure. And I just know there's so many people out there who would like love to do it, but they're like just so scared. They're so scared. They're so intimidated.
Even Michaela, our assistant, like, love her. And we're currently in the process of convincing her to become an influencer. But,
my whole life is convincing my friends and families to become an influencer.
No, literally. Like, do it. Also, one of the best things that you can do is just continue to set yourself up for success. Understanding, like, look up some videos on content creation. Know that, like, if you have this inspo photo and it's at golden hour, know that you're gonna have to wake up either at the ass crack of dawn or wait until sunset to shoot that. Like, you're just simply not going to get that same sort of vibe if you try to shoot in the middle of the day. And if you go to try to shoot in the middle of the day, you're going to get really discouraged because the lighting is going to be so fucking harsh. There's probably going to be a lot of people around, and you're gonna be like, well, fuck this, I'm bad at content creation, when that's not the reality. You know what I mean? So, and of course, this is something that will come with time and trial and error, but set yourself up for success. Try to shoot either, and it's difficult, it's not easy to wake up at sunrise, but that's when you're gonna have the best chance of like not having anyone around you, and you're gonna get the best lighting. Or you can do sunset and also try to move around people if you're trying to like shoot in public or at the beach or whatever it might be. So
yeah. I think even taking inventory of like where you live and what's accessible around you. So like, if you're on a coast, utilizing the beaches is great. If you're in a beach town, utilizing the cute little beach town streets would be great. Like, so if you're gridlocked, look at different locations we use a website called Peerspace, which is basically Airbnb, but you can rent out houses for shoot locations and events and things like that. So what we've been doing for years is that we started renting out studio locations once a week with a group of our influencer friends. And that way we are showing up once a week. We're batching our content. So we'll bring usually we'll shoot for 2 or 3 hours, and we'll bring 3 to 4 looks, sometimes
6, 7,
sometimes even more. And we just batch out our content, and that makes it so sustainable for us. So we're not like putting on makeup and shooting every single day, because that would honestly be pretty exhausting. So, and that's a system that we put into place and we found has worked best for us. So I would highly, recommend getting some sort of shooting schedule, and batching content is great because then you do it all in one day. It's all done. You have the rest of the week to edit. And in addition to figuring out a schedule, is trying to find a partner, a content partner. Is great because it's just someone who you can go to, you can rely on. They shoot you, you shoot them. You kind of learn together. Like, I know that's a process Jess and I went through. And then we see other influencer friends of ours kind of, when they partner up, they shoot so much more content. You also have someone holding you accountable. So I think that's really helpful. And, if you're not meeting people in real life at like an influencer event, because that's how we network a lot because of the events happening in Miami or LA. Like we're constantly meeting new creators. But online is a great way to meet people, like
Yeah.
we'll
That's how I
have
met Macy.
yeah,
We like slid in each other's DMs, and me and
totally.
Macy were content partners for years.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the best way. Everyone has their location in their bio, and creators will most likely always be open to collaborating and or meeting up. You guys could meet for coffee first and then, go from there. But I think that's such a great kind of like hidden tool like up your sleeve, is finding someone to do it with you. That way it really takes the weight off and makes the whole process feel a little bit lighter too.
Yeah. And you know what? If someone's not down or they ghost you, fuck them.
On to the
And
next.
I'm saying that because I reached out to a girl the other day,
No,
and
you
this girl who moved
shot
from
your shot.
this girl who moved from Miami to LA, and like she started dating this guy that I knew, that I've known for years. I'll tell you about it.
You know
I'll
him
tell
for years.
oh, you know how I know him. I'll tell you in a second.
No, I'm saying he was like,
No, I know. But like once I tell you who it is, you're not even gonna be like, yeah. But she posted like her like new house or apartment. She also owns a brand, and so I was like, oh my God, your house is so beautiful. She's like, thank you so much, babe. And then I was like, if you ever want to like meet up for coffee or like shoot content, like I would love to like get together. Fucking ghosted me. I'm like, all right, bitch, fuck you. Not even just like oh yeah, totally. And then we never do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the courteous thing. Be like, oh my God, yes, totally, we should. And then we don't, Like,
yeah.
come on, be a fake bitch like everyone else.
Yeah,
Rude.
and if you also don't have a content partner, like tripod it up.
Tripod it up.
Tripod it up. Tripods are great. Our friend Alexa, like almost every week, exclusively shoots with her. It's her and her tripod. Like that is her content partner. And although that has its own kind of learning curve to it, it's definitely possible. I mean, since Jess has left, I have had to fend for myself.
Same, bestie.
And I literally went to one of the studios that we shoot at, just me and the tripod. No one else like needed to shoot that week. And I was like, well, I gotta get shit done. So that is definitely a little bit of a learning curve. But like I feel like I've gotten a really good hang on it now, and it's very quick and it's very efficient. And you guys can shop the tripod in my Amazon storefront. And also there's apps like Lens Buddy, which is really great because it's like a self-timer camera app, but it's better than just like the normal camera app with the timer, because it does like blast and you can affect the exposure and things like that. So there's tools, whatever you're struggling with and you're like, oh yeah, but it's too hard to, there's probably an app for that. There's probably a tool for that. I promise you, like everything is so accessible now for creators to easily create content, especially on their own. So have no fear. Something exists that will make it easier for you. You just have to like find it, pretty much.
100%. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys ever have any other questions about content creation, always feel free to slide into our DMs. We're at your disposal, and we would love nothing more than to see you guys move out of your comfort zone and start creating some content if that's what you feel called to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes, guys, it doesn't even need to be that serious. Like, you don't even have to like post it, like you can create content for yourself. You can create content for whatever you want. Just get creative, and creating content doesn't even need to be like taking photos of yourself or, whatever it might be. It could be taking photos of someone else. It could just be getting behind a camera and trying something new.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that piece of advice. Have fun with it. It's like, doesn't need to be so serious. And I know like we're very serious about it, but I think it's because we've been doing this for so long that it's like, when we're going at it, we're like, okay, how can we do this and do it right? But definitely like, don't let anything hold you back from just starting. Like just start. Know that it doesn't have to be perfect, like I even
know that it won't be perfect.
It won't be perfect. And you have to like surrender to that, because I was even helping an influencer last week create content, and she was like, see, but the blankets are wrinkled in the back, and this is that, and this is that, and she's like, this is what stopped me for so long with creating content, is that like the perfectionist in me. I'm like, you have to let go of that. You have to, because that's going to stop you, and then, you know, what's the point, because you're not even creating content at that point. So just get it out there. Don't be scared. And if you have any questions, slide into our DMs and we'll probably reply with a voice message.
Yeah, we love voice messages.
But happy season finale, brothers. We
love you guys.
We love you. We love you. As always, send to a friend who you think would enjoy this. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you're feeling inspired. And we hope you
I don't know if we're going to take, because normally we would take 2 weeks off in between filming. Maybe we'll take a little month ski.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Well, make sure you guys are following our Instagram page, Whiskey and Water Podcast, to get all the updates on like when episodes we'll be releasing. But we love you guys.
Love you guys, and have an amazing week.
Bye.